Today's video has been sponsored by Native. Just when I thought that TikTok recipes couldn't get any more unique and captivating, allow me to introduce you to today's slate of recipes. On today's TikTok tasting agenda, we're gonna be delving into the bizarre and unexplainable world of water talk, and trying some bubblegum water to start before jumping back over to our besties at Tasty and trying their French onion deviled eggs. And then finishing today with somebody who haunts both my dreams and my nightmares. It's Choi and his chocolate jellied oranges. If you're feeling as speechless as I was when I first discovered some of these, please let me know down in the comments so I know that I'm not alone, but let's get right into this one. This could just be me, but has anybody else felt like a sweaty, stressed out basket case recently? Whether that's getting the meat sweats from some of these videos, or watching all my sports teams take a crap in the playoffs. So it is a great thing that no matter what life throws at me, I will always be feeling fresh due to my friends over at Native. Native offers the best aluminum-free, paraben-free, vegan, and cruelty-free deodorants around. They're made up of simple and effective ingredients that you've actually heard of before, such as coconut oil and shea butter. They don't feel sticky and instead feel dry while applying. They even offer more sensitive options that are all vegan and made without baking soda. And let me just tell you, these scents are incredible. I went with the charcoal, eucalyptus mint, and sandalwood and shea butter, and I genuinely don't think I could pick a favorite. I've used them all, and they all smell so fresh and clean. And just recently, Native just launched their Candy Shop collection. Satisfy your sweet tooth with an explosion of color and fragrance with Native spin on some of your favorites, from gummy bears, sour berry belts, and strawberry and vanilla taffy. These are gonna be the next ones I'm gonna have to get my hands on. And maybe my favorite part of Native is their plastic-free options. This is the same exact deodorant formula, just with more sustainable packaging. And Native's got more to offer, from their body washes to their lotions, so please click the link in the top line of the description. Use my code DavidSeymour2 at checkout, and you will get 20% off of your first Native order. This offer is available site-wide, but only for a limited time, so stock up and save. First up today, on our expedition into the delusions of TikTok, we will be testing out this bubblegum water, and for that you will need some cherry syrup and strawberry flavoring packets, banana syrup, and ice water. I just have to say that sometimes this app truly makes me feel like I'm living in a different dimension from some people. Maybe I'm the crazy one here, but this is not water, people. This is just juice or non-carbonated soda. Do people not know that the majority of drinks we consume, whether they're soft drinks or juices or whatever, they're 95+% water. If you're confused why I'm so crazed about this, it's because it's another stupid thing that is compiling millions upon millions of views on TikTok. What are we all doing wrong? Maybe I'm missing something here, and you guys will let me know in the comments, but I guess let's give bubblegum water a try. I just have no words. I mean, it's pretty good. Listen, I never said I thought this was gonna taste bad. I was just pointing out how ridiculous it is to call this water. It's very clearly intensely sugary juice. If you don't like tooth pain inducing sweet things, don't even bother. I can tolerate a few sips. I love when anything involves banana. Apparently more than a few sips. There's no way in a million years I'd be able to guess that this was supposed to taste like bubblegum though. It just tastes like a medley of faintly artificial fruit.
Hello?
What are you up to? Do you want to taste something and give me your opinion?
Not on camera, because I'm not sure.
No, it's alright. All I need from you is to take a sip of this and tell me what you think it tastes like, or what it's supposed to taste like.
It smells like a candy apple.
It's choked on it.
It's a little sugary.
Alright.
It tastes like extra
God.
sweetened Hawaiian punch
Yeah,
with extra sugar.
I would agree with that.
I'm gonna go get some water now.
Okay. Thank you. My God, I almost killed her. I guess we'll never know if this is supposed to be a real thing, if we're being trolled. Does it taste half decent? Sure. Would I recommend you do this over normal water? No. Next up today is an old friend and a page I often enjoy revisiting whenever I get the chance to. It is tasty, and they're French onion deviled eggs. I collected some balsamic vinegar and mayo, garlic powder, beef broth and flour, some butter and Worcestershire sauce, rosé and salt, panko breadcrumbs, yellow onions, Gruyere cheese, a ton of eggs, and then fresh rosemary and thyme. I feel like it's been quite a while since we've tested out a tasty recipe. As I said, it is always a welcome sight. I'll always be appreciative for that page, all their producers. It's the main reason the majority of you found your way to me in the first place. And this one today genuinely looks absolutely incredible. It's essentially a deviled egg where you marinate the eggs in a super concentrated French onion broth overnight. That should infuse lots of flavor and kind of turn the exteriors brown, almost like a soy sauce marinated egg. The caramelized onions get removed from the broth and then blended up with the egg yolks, a little mayo, to create that deviled egg creamy interior. And then it's gonna get topped off with a toasted rosemary breadcrumb and some melty Gruyere cheese. This thing's probably gonna be incredible. A bunch of you guys actually sent this over to me. That's how I clocked it in the first place, so thank you to anybody who did that. But it was a pretty easy decision to do this because, as you guys know, I love absolutely any excuse to French onionify any food. I made a whole video on it after all. I made a French onion ramen and burgers and chicken. It was a very good day, to say the least. I'll leave that video down in the description if you want to check it out. Hell, I'd even eat a French onion tomato if you put that in front of me. Actually, maybe not. Now, even though I've been singing this recipe's praises, I do have one major complaint, and that is the sheer amount of time it takes to make such a simple appetizer. The onions alone, if done properly, take about 45 minutes to caramelize, and that's just the onions. That's not combining it with everything else to simmer off your soup. Just to then deconstruct your soup, having to boil off a ton of eggs, allow those to sit in the fridge overnight, toast your breadcrumbs, assemble these whole things, and then cook them again to get the tops nice and toasty. This is a lot of work. This is not like a 30-minute appetizer. Could you get away with doing this all in one day and just skipping that overnight marinating step? Probably. You might lose a little bit of flavor and obviously all that color. But if you're in a pinch, I would imagine it would work just fine. As for these guys though, I don't know if it's the herby breadcrumbs or the toasted Gruyere or everything combined, but I'm drooling like a dog. So let's give these guys a shot. I can't remember the last time I was this excited to eat an egg. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love egg things. I love my breakfast egg sandwiches, but these might be on another level. Sell these damn things. Eggs are already amazing in most forms, but when you combine it with such a savory, umami-rich food like a French onion, with the deep caramelized onion flavor, the toasted Gruyere, this could be a thing. This does not read as one of those purely internet foods where somebody just threw two popular things together. This is a really good combination. There's not much else to really say about this one other than please make them. And lastly, for today's final course, something to absolutely drain me of all of the positivity and excitement I had for today's recipes. It is Zach Choi and his jellied chocolate oranges. I grabbed some sugar and mandarin oranges, whole milk and agar powder, as well as a few bars of milk chocolate. If you spend any amount of time on the internet at all, TikTok, Instagram, or otherwise, I'm not sure how you wouldn't have seen these yet. These things garner tens of millions of views. And I shouldn't put this all on him. There are plenty of other creators who have jumped on this trend. I don't really get the purpose. I don't get the excitement over it, but that seems to be becoming a common trend here, so maybe I'm just getting old. But for this one, you have to create your jellied chocolate outer casing that is going to hermetically seal our fruit inside. This time around, I decided to use agar powder to help set this mixture up rather than gelatin. I feel like we've been using way too much of that shit recently. And then you leave that over low heat so it doesn't solidify on you prematurely while you painstakingly peel and completely clean all the pith off of these little damn oranges. This was miserable. This took me, I want to say 35 minutes to get these somewhat clean. And I know this is a thing that people do in like gourmet restaurants, so if you are a sous chef that has had to do this in the past, my heart goes out to you. But once I got these cleaned up to the best of my novice abilities, I plopped them down into a paper milk container. I stuck a little chopstick down the center of these just to make sure they stayed all perfectly in line and right in the center of our jelly mixture. And then I just dumped in my jiggly chocolate milk and allowed that to set in the fridge for a couple of hours. Now I am well aware that fruit is often used in many desserts, in many different applications, but jellied chocolate milk and oranges is not something I've ever seen before. I guess the cut did look pretty satisfying. That's probably the reason it gets so many views. Just kind of mesmerizing to look at. It's something you've never seen before, but I guess I have to eat this now, so let's just get it over with. Okay, so my little chopstick trick to try to keep these centered did not work too well. They are a little bit off to the side, but I don't think that's gonna be the deal breaker of this one. I'm proud of myself, I was just able to swallow that. Unlike the last recipe, this is a combination that does not need to exist, and I am led to believe that it only exists for the internet. It's just two flavors and textures that do not belong together. And also look how wet and slick and solid this is. I can't stand when Jell-O doesn't have a ton of flavor and you're more so focused on the texture. There needs to be way more chocolate in this, way more sugar, because it kind of just tastes like nothing. But honestly, I don't think it would matter, because this can go somewhere very far away from me. That shit looks like brown silicone, or something that should not be eaten. Again, let me know if I'm wrong and ignorant to something that exists and people actually eat somewhere. I have a feeling that's not going to be the case with this one. What an incredibly wild and up and down day.
With the M without the AD. Flipping burgers and my money super lazy. Try and make a meal tonight, they ain't paying me. Try and supersize my life with my 18. Yeah, our style wasn't wavy, but we had a vision.